Boom, boom. So today, cave dwellers, we're looking up some information and talking about Nancy Guthrie, the 84-year-old mother of NBC's Today's show, Savannah Guthrie. She's missing. She's been missing since at least February 1st. They dropped her off at her house uh, January 31st, I believe. I mean, since February 2nd, excuse me. They dropped her off at her house on the 31st, and they haven't seen her. Her doorbell camera was disconnected, motion sensor detected on the camera, but no footage. And her pacemaker was disconnected from her phone around 2:28 that night. So they have no idea what this is. It's been speculating. It's an inside job, and she can't survive without certain medication for long. So we're going to find out some information, then we're going to discuss it. Let me see.
We continue to monitor the home of Nancy Guthrie after a flurry of police activity within the last couple of hours. At the same time, a desperate search for Nancy is underway. So what will it take to solve the case?
What will it take?
Bring this 84-year-old grandmother home safe and sound and get her the medicine that she desperately needs. Here with more reaction analysis, the host of Crime Stories with Nancy Grace on Fox Nation. Nancy is with us. Okay, this has been your life's mission, your passion, your vocation in life, and you have studied more crimes than any other one person that I know.
Facts.
Let's look at and unpack, as I've been saying, all of this new information that we have, and that post by Savannah and her brother and sister on Instagram. What do you glean from that?
Number one, it's heartbreaking and excruciating to watch, but we have to watch. And this is what I discern. Number one, law enforcement absolutely knew that this statement was being made. They probably helped them prepare it. I know Savannah. Savannah would not go rogue. We work together at Court TV. She's covered many, many cases like this. She knows what's happening. She would not go rogue and do this against law enforcement's decision, much less the FBI, for Pete's sake. Of course they knew, and they probably coached them or helped them. Number one, what else does it tell me? To take the ransom notes seriously. There's a lot being thrown around in the media that is it real, is it fake, is Bitcoin, blah, blah. Well, apparently that note had something in it that made Savannah Guthrie, who knows the law like the back of her hand, try to reach out and speak to whoever sent it. That tells me that possibly the description in the note was accurate. Only the family and law enforcement would know that. And they have chosen, Savannah and her brother and sister have chosen to engage with whoever wrote those notes. There's something in.
I want to watch this first, but I know that they said that the note probably had descriptors of the mother, like only this person would know that. Like, how do they know that? Like, whatever. So
that note is accurate.
Okay, so I agree with you. I can't imagine that they would go out there with this statement and basically asking for proof of life, talking about a willingness to talk. I don't think they would do that at all without taking into account the real possibility that law enforcement deep down believes this is a very real possibility of a kidnapping and a ransom. Now, those cases are treated very specifically. How would you imagine this now begins to unfold?
Well, we've got to wait now. We're playing their game, the perpetrator's game. One other thing I can glean from this, Sean, is that there's been a lot of speculation. It's from it's an insider very close to the family. I think if the family thought that, they would not be speaking on Insta to an unknown party.
I don't know. Maybe they do know the party. Maybe they're like, okay, the FBI, we think is this guy, but we just need him to send us something. We're going to track the IP address, or we're watching the house. If he's going to come out and do it, we have a suspicion it's this person. So that, I mean, if they knew who it was or they suspected somebody like an insider, then that would make it even more like relevant. Like, hey, go do this little ransom and say, hey, we need proof of life, blah, blah. Get this person to come out and do something so we can nab them in the act.
I don't think you would see this happening. What we're seeing, this extraordinary moment right now. They want proof of life, and it can't be some AI image. They want to know she's alive. They want something in the background to show she's alive. It's got to be something that strikes them as real. And again, we're playing the perps game.
So if it's something that's real, we want to make sure it's a real background, whatever. Then they can know the location or possibly whatever metadata on a picture or something. Like somebody could mess up real quick. And Tucson's full of meth heads, so it's a great area, but it's full of meth heads. They could easily have, oh, you who daughter, and she be in a trailer somewhere and just waiting for $200.
I don't like that. We're going to have to wait on them to respond, see what the response is. What if we don't hear from them for another day, 2 days, 3 days? Did you notice it took a long time for the ransom note to appear? That was concerning to me. And another thing, Savannah and her family have been through HELL because they haven't come forward and spoken until now. Did anybody ever think that in her position, in the limelight, in the public, she was told that that may throw fuel on the flame? I'm sure she was following the directions of law enforcement. And now she's spoken. I hope that makes everybody happy so we can now focus on finding Nancy Guthrie.
Okay, let's go back to what we know. Why did they go back? And I know we're all speculating here, but this...
I know we're going back and forth. I got to watch that video first. I feel like I don't know what they're talking about. Let me see. Because I had a few tabs already open. Like, I need to watch this. Nah, this the sheriff speaking.
Covers up. That's what...
We're going to watch that too. I got to watch that video that she put up because they talking about it. Dang, I just opened it. Savannah Guthrie, whole press conference. Bear with me, folks.
We need to know, without a doubt, that she is alive and that you have her. We want to hear from you, and we are ready to listen. Please, reach out to us.
Our Melissa Dunn joins me now, along with retired FBI agent Brad Garrett, plus former NYPD Chief of Detectives Robert Boyce. Melissa, to step up to the...
So they ain't saying it either. Hold on, let me see. We got to find that before I continue listening to Nancy Grace. We're going to continue. Somebody just got Savannah. Let me see, 5 minutes. Boy, this internet slow right now, ain't it? If you already got some theories out there, throw them out there. We are ready to talk.
Want to get to some breaking news now. Today, host Savannah Guthrie has posted a video on social media. This is the first time we're hearing from her.
On behalf of our family, we want to thank all of you for the prayers for our beloved mom, Nancy. We feel them, and we continue to believe that she feels them too. Our mom is a kind, faithful, loyal, fiercely loving woman of goodness and light. She's funny, spunky, and clever. She has grandchildren that adore her and crowd around her and cover her with kisses. She loves fun and adventure. She is a devoted friend. She is full of kindness and knowledge. Talk to her and you'll see.
The light is missing from our lives. Nancy is our mother. We are her children. She is our beacon. She holds fast to joy in all of life's circumstances. She chooses joy day after day, despite having already passed through great trials of pain and grief. We are always going to be merely human, just normal human people who need our mom. Mama, if you're listening, we need you to come home. We miss you.
Our mom is our heart.
You got more? Listen, I don't know if it's just I'm jaded because of like so many crime videos and body cam and unsolved murders and cold cases that I feel like nobody is genuine. I don't know, like Erica Kirk situation or something. I don't know. But it's like, I guess maybe because she does this all the time and she's like, maybe she's desensitized Savannah. Like her whole family look like they're like, I don't know. If Savannah was up here doing this by herself, I'd be like, damn, is she really sad? But because her brother and sister up here, they got like the same expression. It's like, you know, all three of them ain't get together and do nothing crazy, I don't think, right? Conspire against their mother. They just like, I don't know, maybe she just phased out because it's like she still got hope that her mother's alive and it's still a chance. So it's not like she died and she's crying over that. She's still like, I don't know. Anybody else get that feeling? Like, I don't know. Like, I just don't believe people when they're crying. I don't know. I'm probably wrong for that.
Our home. She is 84 years old. Her health, her heart is fragile. She lives in constant pain. She is without any medicine. She needs it to survive. She needs it not to suffer. We too have heard the reports about a ransom letter in the media. As a family, we are doing everything that we can. We are ready to talk. However, we live in a world where voices and images are easily manipulated. We need to know, without a doubt, that she is alive and that you have her. We want to hear from you, and we are ready to listen. Please reach out to us.
So there's a note.
Mommy, if you are hearing this, you are a strong woman. You are God's precious daughter, Nancy. We believe and know that even in this valley, He is with you. Everyone is looking for you, Mommy, everywhere. We will not rest. Your children will not rest until we are together again. We speak to you every moment, and we pray without ceasing, and we rejoice in advance for the day that we hold you in our arms again. We love you, Mom.
Love you, Mom.
We love you, Mom.
Damn, that's crazy. I feel like the son, like, you hope for the best, prepare for the worst type of thing. So you can't even doubt him for that. Kidnapping an 84-year-old is insane. It's just weird. Like, she didn't, like, let me get my medication, or maybe they didn't care, which is some meth activity. I have never seen this lady not smiling. Hope her mom gets home safe. Yeah, that's true. Maybe that's the thing that's throwing me off. Like, I'm used to her smiling on Today's Show and, like, without a sweet smile. Maybe that's what's throwing me off. Like, damn, like, is this real? Like, it don't fit her. Am I the only one that think this is extremely weird? Ransom letters and kidnapping is already rare, let alone of an elderly mom of a news host. This just seems so weird and random. You know they're going to look at the brother and everybody else like, did he ask her for money, Savannah, and she ain't give it to him? If anybody in debt, and they think like this could be a big, like a get out of jail free thing, But they ain't know Trump was going to send the FBI and make sure she had everything. I found it very weird as well. Why would someone want to kidnap her elderly mother? I don't get it. Something is off. Maybe for money? Smells like someone smells off to me. I would totally agree. Something is off. I thought so too. But it's Tucson. If you know Tucson, it could be some drug addicts, some meth that you're not thinking when you're on that type of stuff. You just do it. I think the hostage situation expert wrote it and had them deliver it to humanize Nancy and hopefully get them to change their mind and make it seem they have power, saying we are ready to talk. This reads as an attempt of the detective to try to get into negotiation stage. The thing that's off is Americans thinking everything is fake and some sort of conspiracy. That's true, but there's so many out there. Bad things happen to good people every day. Evil exists, and it's not some stupid conspiracy either. It's not just American, it's people in general. Yeah, I guess nobody want to think you're living in the end of times. I mean, does that do better? Walking around thinking everybody is not evil? I don't know. All right, let's get back to Nancy now.
There's got to be a reason why they went back to the mother's home today, why they went to the sister's home today. Now, they might have, this could be very innocent. They went to the sister's home, maybe in preparation for this statement that they were going to release tonight. It could have been that simple an explanation. And I don't like that people run rogue. The media often rushes to judgment. They were wrong on Richard Jewell, wrong on Duke Lacrosse, UVA, Ferguson, Missouri, Freddie Gray in Baltimore. They're wrong a lot. So we don't like to rush to judgment. You never rush to judgment. But why do you think they went back to the house today? There had to be a specific reason. And it's hard to believe in this day and age, Nancy, help me, that there are cameras everywhere. I know whoever did this ripped that camera out at Savannah's mother's house.
But the neighbors?
Nancy Guthrie's house. However, what about a neighbor? They had to have somebody that, got every license plate and every person, that walked down that street or drove down that street that night.
You'll be surprised, though.
You cannot tell me in a neighborhood like that there are not security cameras, surveillance throughout. And she was taken in a vehicle. She can't walk past 50 yards, all right? She was taken out that door. We know there's forced entry, but they came out of that front door from the blood that apparently has been identified as Mrs. Guthrie's. The blood ended there. She was put in a car. There's got to be a record of that car. There's got to be some cell phone data somewhere. They've just a needle in a haystack right now. But regarding surveillance, I know they're in a vehicle, and I know we got to track that vehicle. But I want to point out one thing. It wasn't just the agents. They brought dogs, Sean. They brought dogs. What does that mean? Were they looking? Was she taken into the garage? You have to look to see where they're taking the dogs. Then it looked like they were doing somewhat of a grid search around the area, like out into the woods a little bit. Did they get a tip? Or did they think that they had missed something? I thought they opened up the scene way too early. That's just me, having handled thousands of crime scenes. But they went back to that scene. That scene could have been tampered with by now.
Nancy,
close the scene.
Okay, we have cadaver dogs. We have drug dogs. There are dogs that are trained specifically to seek out electronics that may be hidden somewhere. I mean, it could have been any number of reasons why those dogs were brought in there. But you're right. They did expand outside into the property. Okay, what do you think they're looking for?
I think that they may be looking for the approach into the home. There have now been reports of a male that does not live in the neighborhood that had been in the area leading up to the time that Nancy was taken. Are they trying to pick up a scent there? I think that they've gotten a tip. They've gotten some kind of information. They had to go back and check it out, and they brought dogs. That's what I can surmise right now. And that's very serious to bring the dogs back out. They're looking for some type of human scent, I believe. I don't think they're looking for electronics. And they're not looking for drugs. They're looking for a human.
Why do you even say that?
To the original statements of law enforcement. They believe she was taken out of her home by force. It was a forced entry into the home. We know that the camera was ripped out. There was the blood, but as you pointed out last night on this program, not a significant amount of blood that would indicate that she was dead when she left that house. That means that she was taken out against her will, according to law enforcement. Walk us through. That means I think I would conclude if they wanted to kill her, they would have killed her right then and there on Saturday. Okay, they wanted to take her. They took her. Now, as you look at each little piece of that puzzle, having gone over, you know, thousands and thousands of cases.
It's almost like no way you think you're kidnapping a 84-year-old lady and then giving her back. Like maybe somebody is using the ransom to cover up a murder. Like that's the only thing. Like no way you okay, give her some money and then hey you go get your 84-year-old mom. She can't walk 50 yards, so if we drop off, like you got to drop off somewhere that's not even by where y'all live or anything. Like I don't know. It's just weird. It's not a child. It's not somebody famous. Kidnapping is weird generally. I feel like it's been a while since we've seen a kidnapping, a ransom, not a kidnapping, but a ransom after the kidnapping. That's wild.
Your career. What does it tell you?
It tells me, number one, she was upright and walking. She may have been assisted. She was not down. She was not being dragged prone because the blood was dropping, I think, from her nose. And you see droplets coming down. As a matter of fact, if you very carefully look at that blood in the front, it's almost as if you can see the steps through the first 4 tiles. There's a drop or two of blood on each tile. She's being led out of that house, and based on the blood, she is still upright. That's very significant in my mind. She's alive at that point.
Yeah,
That's
they punched that lady?
If this were random, they would have killed her, robbed her, raped her, and left her body in that home. That's harsh. I know it's harsh, but I'm dealing with the facts. She's not there. That's not what this is about, which gives credence to the ransom notes. And now we see the family coming out. They're giving credence to the ransom notes, too. Or are they grasping at straws? I don't think so. There's something in that note that rings true to the crime scene or what Mrs. Guthrie was wearing. So we've got to be taking this very seriously. Now, these ransom notes are the way to go. That is the path. And we're playing a waiting game. I don't know how much longer Mrs. Guthrie can wait.
You told me something privately, and I want to bring it public. You said to me that the fact that she was in this house alone and this happened where it happened, that you were convinced it had to be somebody local. Do you stand by that?
Yes, I do. I do not believe all these zany theories that Savannah covered an incendiary case. She does that every day. We all do. And that somebody got mad and travels across the country, finds her elderly mother, and kidnaps her. That's not what happened. This is not some, conspiracy against Savannah or a political statement. No. They knew her. They know where she lives. They know she lived alone. This is someone in that area.
A local meth head that needed some money. She might have gave them. I've seen old ladies like her, like welcome them into their house. Like they need some help around the house. Like we just assuming she had like a maid or somebody to come in and help her, or a healthcare aide or something, CNA type thing. But who knows? Maybe she didn't. Maybe she was doing it by herself, and then she had somebody come over, clean up the house every once in a while. She had John from down the street come and do her grass and cut her petunias or something. And then he's like, I need some money.
A vigilante from across the country making a political statement. That's absurd. So, yes, I do stand by that.
Hey, Sean.
Let me see. So the sheriff came out and gave an update, I know.
Tips that you want, because it may lead you right to Nancy and hopefully the bad guys.
Let's see where this starts.
Again, we're watching the live pictures out of Tucson.
And we just want her home and get and find a way to get to the bottom of all of this, just as you do. But I have other partners out there who have stepped up, and you've probably noticed them in the last few days, if not the last few hours, and you're going to see more of that. Well, I made a decision to contact our PCRIT team, and those of you not local, that's our Pima Regional Critical Incident Team. It's made up of law enforcement officers from this entire valley. Pasquayaki Police Department, Tucson Police Department, Marana Police Department, Oro Valley Police Department, Pima College Police Department, this is Tucson International Police Department, Sarita Police Department. There's so many of them, and they are going to help us tremendously. And that's really done because we have so much in front of us still, and we're hoping that, you know, I know the FBI has committed a very large number of men and women to partner with us, work side by side with us. We go do an interview, they're going to be there with us. We're going to go look at some evidence or process evidence, they're going to be right there with us. We're sharing every piece of information, all the data we can to get this thing solved. And it's important that my partners in law enforcement know and understand their roles, because it is very large, complex investigation with a lot of moving parts. And we're at that phase now where sometimes we're waiting, right? We're waiting for analysis. We're waiting for lab reports. But even then, when they come back quickly, for example, some DNA, we rushed what we thought was the best target for DNA. We did a rush through and got some of that back. The results were minimal. I think you all know of the blood on the porch. That was one we did. It came back to Nancy. That's what we know. Sir. But there's still more items that have been submitted. We just haven't got them back yet. But in the meantime, we're not just sitting on our haunches waiting. We do have a number of leads coming in, and that's why we brought in the FBI for one, but PCRIT as well, to be able to get out there and handle these leads as they come in as quickly and as expeditiously as we can. And every single lead is looked at, every one of them. And so we're gearing up. You probably have some questions about what you've seen in the last couple of days. I'll gladly answer those at that time. But it really is about getting our partners out there. To be fair, when we went to that scene the first night, Saturday night, it was just us. Since then, the FBI and others have asked, can we go and see it as well? And that's what.
So that's what Nancy Grace meant. They came in, collected everything, and then opened it up. And then the FBI had to say, damn, man, I trampled through everything. Can we go look now? Like, damn. But who knows what's, oh, I get it. But they probably not even used to. Small town, Tucson is still a small town, even though it's a big city and growing. Still considered like a small town. Mostly older people or snowbirds that come from the East Coast in the winter. And they like, we don't know how to handle it. Like, we just did everything. She probably, I don't know, did or something. And they wasn't expecting this big thing. Or maybe they thought she wandered off somewhere and they didn't really take it serious and really close down that crime scene.
What you've been seeing. But it is a very important case to not just me and my team, but this entire community.
How much y'all think they asking for?
All of our law enforcement partners. Suspects. I know there's been a lot out there about suspects, and I want to be very clear. At this time, we have not identified a suspect or a person of interest in this case. We are working our best to do that. But to be clear, we have nobody of interest or any suspects that you would consider a prime suspect. We're just not there. We're not there yet. The timeline, I think we've got it on the board, do we not? This is a timeline that we have been able to develop with some of the things that we've had processed, various pieces of electronics that we've gathered. And you look at some of this, and I know you're going to say, well, why did it take you so long to get this to us, Sheriff? Well, because one thing, it's got to go out and be processed at different lab sites. And sometimes that stuff comes back to us, and like you, we have questions. And we say, wait a minute, what is this about? What about this? Could it be that? And so it's sent back. Or
there's no way they don't find these people. I see somebody say President Trump called Savannah. The president gonna go whatever way the media go. You see he's on the whole ICE thing, and then the media, even Republicans and Democrats, like, what the hell you doing? Like, don't tread on us. And he's like, oh, we gotta do something. He fired the ICE coordinator. President Trump gonna go wherever he think the American public is going or care about through mainstream media. That's just his thought process. So now they got the FBI helping these people, which is good, but you wish they could help everybody.
And that's happening with all of the things we see, that process, that review, and that questioning of, all right, what is it we're looking at? So I'll go over it with you. You can see it on the board there, but at about 5:32 p.m., these are approximate times. 5:32 p.m., Nancy travels to her local family's home for dinner and playing games with the family, and just visiting. At 9:48 p.m., which is very consistent to what we were told by the family, that Nancy was dropped off at home, and we know that because we have a garage door open at approximately, I can't stress that enough, at approximately 9:48 p.m. At 9:50 p.m., that garage door closes, which is that time we assume that Nancy's home and probably going to bed. Sunday morning, early morning at 1:47 a.m., the doorbell camera disconnects. At 2:12 a.m., software detects a person on a camera, but there's no video available. They had no subscription, and therefore it would rewrite itself. It just kind of loops, right, and covers up. That's what our analysis teams have told us. We're not done with that. We'll do all we can, but...
Wait a minute. So this person was stalking her. At 9:50, January 31st, which was what day? A Saturday. She was out with her family, dropped off at 9:50, garage door closes. Around 4 hours, less than 5 hours later, the doorbell camera disconnects. Minutes later, software detects person on camera, no video available. They didn't have the subscription to the damn, it's like using Ring, but you got no subscription. Everything still works, but it's not going nowhere. Oh, damn, they need to, come on, Savannah, you got to pay for that for your mama. So at 9:50, they basically kidnapped, she came home and they kidnapped her that night. She went to bed or something, probably got ready, and then they came for her. That person was watching outside of her home. No way the person just driving by, oh, la, 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 boom. And they know she wasn't there, so this person had to know that she lived alone. Yo, it's either a crackhead or it's somebody that knows her that she's interacted with and that the family is going to know. Somebody that she's interacted with. Come on, that same night, pacemaker, they disconnected the damn camera. So they knew it wasn't no subscription either or nothing. Like usually I would think that if you take somebody's doorbell down, like the Ring or something, it's going boop, boop, it's going to beep or something to them. They ain't care. They like, nobody coming. She the only one with access to this camera, or the police ain't going to come or get here. Ain't nobody going to call and say, hey, we want to make sure you're all right. We got some alerts on the camera. Like they know she ain't have a subscription almost. I would look if the subscription ended. If she had a subscription and then it ended, the son, like, I don't know. I got to suspect. It was like, I can't. I'm just speculating. I'm just speculating at this point. No.
That's what it says. So that detects a person on camera. Could that be an animal? I imagine that's possible. We don't know that. We just have no video. But we're not giving up on that. 228. Nancy's pacemaker app shows that it was a disconnect from the phone. And
subscription. Sorry, I'm looking at the comments now. You know, if you get a Ring or a doorbell, you can get a subscription so that like I have Ring, the thing when you open your back door and stuff, it beep, boop, 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 and you can set the alarm. It'll still do that if you don't pay for the monthly subscription. But if you have the Ring subscription, if that door open and you got you set it to away and it go beep, 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 beep and start beeping, it's going to alert your phone and then Ring is going to call you and say, hey, we detected some movement, blah, 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 blah in the house. Is that you? No. They're going to call 911 and everything and take the cameras and record and all that. But if you don't, then you're going to get the notification on your phone like somebody set off your alarm, and then you got to do and act from there. But if you got that subscription, they're going to do it. It's not a crackhead. Why don't you think it's a crackhead? Like, Tucson is full of, meth head. Like, that somebody that's going to do something that see this old lady walking back and forth, maybe they're in the neighborhood collecting cans and but then I'm like, it's almost, I get what you're saying, like, it can't be a meth head. Because are they going to sit there and be that cautious, wait to the garage, look at everything, make sure nobody lived there, and then go and take the camera down? So then that's the part. I'm like, probably not a crackhead. They took the camera down, like they have the wherewithal to think about this. I'm more leaning towards the son just because he's a male, and I don't think it was Savannah. I don't think it was her sister, or like a family member that was like that needs something, or like, oh, you ain't take care of me or something. Like, it's somebody she know. Put it like that. It's somebody she knew and seen before. That's what I mean by that.
At 11:56 a.m., the family checks on Nancy and discovers her missing. And at 12:03 p.m., 911 is called in to the Pima County Sheriff's Department.
I agree.
I believe it's about approximately 10 minutes later, 12 minutes later, our patrol teams arrive. They see the scene, and we start our response with our search and rescue teams and our detectives from homicide and various units. In fact, every unit here, I think somebody questioned, how come there's an ICAC member out here, or this member? Everybody in our criminal investigations team is a part of this team and part of this investigative effort. I think with that, let me make sure. Now, I want to clarify some things that I may have already done, but yeah, I've gone over with the blood at the front door, the doorbell camera. It was removed, we know that, but we're not confirming that any cameras were smashed or destroyed around the house. I don't know where that came from, but that's something we're not confirming. The car, the car that was at the home, it's just standard investigative practices. It's part of the search warrant scene, court orders. We pull it out of there and do our scene processing.
So the camera wasn't broken, or that's what you just think, like somebody rushed down. So hey, he just told us, Gio, I'm calling you Gio in the comments. He just told us maybe it just disconnected. Maybe she didn't charge it. 84-year-old woman that needs to be charged like once a week, probably every 2 weeks. If it ain't like that much motion, nobody coming to her door, she can get one good charge of that Ring camera. It might last three weeks, maybe 4, depending on the settings and, everything you got going. So it could have been luck of the crackhead drawer that I get what you're saying. It's always back here. But I think it's probably homeless people back here, like, and traveling and seeing stuff. Like, they probably in this community. And you know that they have to be caught within days. No way. I don't know. I hope this lady get found alive. But the people who did it, this neighborhood and like this, they're going to get caught, man. Every ATM, Burger King, stoplight, McDonald's, Bank of America, ATM that's pointing out to the street. No way. No way. Unless they went, then I'm about to say unless they went to the desert and through there, but the lady couldn't even walk more than 50 feet.
With the vehicle. Uber. We did speak to a driver because Nancy, we learned, had been taken the Uber to the family residence, the daughter, for dinner. And we located that driver and spoke with them and got that information. The house, you guys got this, I think, conducting follow-up. I think you said somebody had mentioned that they saw a team out there again last night or yesterday, and that's just, again, what I was talking about before. Our partners wanted a chance to see it. and examine things themselves. And more importantly, it's just we're constantly following up on things and go, hey, what about this? So we want to go back and check on some things.
Yeah, you're right. They couldn't pick her up. An Uber dropped her off. And I know you said you're from Manhattan. You don't know the layout of Tucson. I'm in Phoenix right now. I'm from Jersey. I'm in Phoenix. Trust me, these crackheads be out here. You think the heat, like, oh, crackheads gonna be out in the heat? No. First of all, Arizona, every store has to give water. So you go to a gas station, if you say, I got a cup, can I get some water? It's by law, they have to give them water. The homeless, it's just too hot out here not to be giving people water. But they be there. They be in tent city up, and like man, these meth heads be everywhere walking like zombies. It's just crazy. You'll be surprised. It might be this little community inside like a bigger city, if that makes sense. Like the whole area maybe don't look like her block, if that makes sense. In Tucson, it's just different.
Oh, here's the other thing. Someone had mentioned there was forced entry. I have no clue where that comes from. We have been very consistent. We are not discussing that at all.
I'm about to say Nancy Grace said that. So maybe she got some inside information. There was forced entry. They're not confirming that. Why wouldn't you not confirm that? I feel like they know who it is, or they suspect somebody. They just don't want to tip it off. Because you'd be like, oh, it's not a forced entry. They'll be like, oh, fuck, he coming to get us. They know it's me. Goddamn, and kill her. I feel like they know who it is. They just don't want to give it away. Or think.
Entry and not forced entry. That is something we're just not discussing. So I don't know where anybody got that information.
Tell us. Why can't you tell us?
I think I am about done with my piece of this. I'm going to bring up here Heath Yankee, and I think you know him if you haven't been here. John Edwards is the assistant agent in charge with the FBI here at the Tucson office. Heath Yankee is the special agent in charge for the state of Arizona out of Phoenix, and he will come up and speak.
Thank you, Sheriff. Hello, I'm Heath Yankee, the special agent in charge of the FBI's Phoenix Division. First, I want to let the Guthrie family know that our hearts are heavy for them. After seeing your message last night, it is clear that you and your family are in pain. Please know that we are doing everything to bring your mother home. The FBI is now working this case jointly with the Pima County Sheriff's Department, and we're going to start today by announcing a $50,000 reward for information leading to the recovery of Nancy Guthrie and/or the arrest and conviction of anyone involved in her disappearance, and this will be the missing persons with the reward that will be going out. The FBI has agents, analysts, and professional staff employees working day and night with our partners at the Sheriff's Department. We have deployed additional intelligence and agents from our Phoenix office. We have brought in our critical incident response group from Quantico, Virginia. Members from our cellular analysis survey team are here, and they continue to collect and process digital information. We are actively reviewing and analyzing information from all digital sources, which includes banks, social media companies, phone companies, and any other organizations.
Yeah, that's it right there. If you seen Nancy say something, somebody says the Uber driver. I don't think it's the Uber driver. He's a creep. But Uber does a lot of background checks on people, and I mean, there's only so much you can do, but they do a lot. And if it is him, then they're going to have his cell phone data like on and off. Like you can drop somebody off and then double back. If it's him, he caught. Like whoever this is, they probably caught. Trump got everybody out this motherfucker. If they don't find this lady, hopefully they find her alive, but they don't find her at all. That's it's going to be a black eye on law enforcement. Like, there's no way she can't not be found. It don't. Through heaven or earth, heaven and hell, whatever. She got to be found.
Organizations where a digital footprint could have been captured. All this information provides data points and helps put the picture together. And we will be in the community continuing to conduct a thorough investigation with our partners. You heard about us out there last night. We will be back out there today. I would ask the media Give our investigators the space to do their jobs while they're out there. Next, regarding the ransom letter. We are aware of a ransom letter that was sent to the local media and then to national outlets. As with every lead, we are taking it seriously. We are in communication with the family, and while we advise and recommend from a law enforcement perspective, any action taken on any ransom is ultimately decided by the family. Thank you to those in the community that have called in tips.
Somebody said I live with an Uber driver and he has 2 domestic violence. I used to work for Uber and like the Uber corporate. You do background checks, like, so in some states or whatever, it depends, especially East Coast states. Like in Philly, there's a second chance law, and like you could commit a homicide and technically get out, and like they got to give you like a second chance. And sometimes they let you do Uber Eats and deliver food, but they don't let you do Uber ride share and get people. Like, oh, you could drop off somebody at McDonald's with your charges, but you can't be in the car with them with your charges. And then there's like Uber Teens, which has more restrictions. But every once and again, somebody slide through, or if it's not a felony, then it's like it's 8. You can't drive for Uber. You're not driving for Uber with a felony. But if you got like some misdemeanors or something, it's been convicted. If it's over, you know, depending on where you at, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, some places, then they could let you drive. So if he got domestic violence stuff, it is old, or he had some type of plea agreement that said you do this community service, that, and they did it. It has to be something for him to be able to drive.
For anyone out there that may have information, no matter how small you think it may be, please report it. You can do so by calling 1-800-CALL-FBI or online at tips.fbi.gov. My next message is to those imposters who are trying to take advantage and profit from this situation.
Listen, you need to get away from that roommate. That's we're gonna get back to the case, but you need to get away from that roommate, Lisa.
We will investigate and ensure you are held accountable for your actions. We have made 1 arrest related to an imposter ransom demand, and a complaint will be presented to a magistrate judge later today. You will get more on that from the FBI and our U.S. Attorney's Office here in Arizona when it becomes available.
So was it 2 letters they received? One is an imposter and one is real? Or did they respond to the one that they think was real? I'm going to have to read the comments in the video. Hold on.
To anyone that may be involved, do the right thing. This is an 84-year-old grandma. This is an 84-year-old grandma that needs vital medication for her well-being. You still have the time to do the right thing before this becomes a much worse scenario for you. Please return Nancy home. Thank you.
Yeah, they said that they spoke to the Uber driver already, and I guess they dismissed him. Like, if he went on another trip after that, or more trips, then I mean, you can't have a more colder alibi, or how you put it, more open and shut alibi than to say, yo, I dropped her off, then look at my other thing. I went immediately from my house to this, and I did this and that. Here's my cell phone data. Here's a little Uber map. You could call Uber. I was on that. Even though I have seen some people, but mostly with food. Don't ever get in the car with somebody that ain't the person on the screen in Ubers. But Uber Eats, you'll see somebody, like it'll be a female on the app, and then they'll drop your stuff off. You know, you'll be looking out the window. You don't meet the driver at the door. You should be looking and wait till they drop your stuff off. It'd be like a man or something. Like, yeah, maybe her boyfriend doing it. It's late at night or something. He taking over it, which is crazy. So you just assume he ain't supposed to be doing it. Otherwise, he would have his own account. But that's on a whole nother thing. DoorDash, Instacart, good for that. Like, if I order 20 Instacarts, 12 at a time, it ain't even the person on that. It's a man delivering. They say a female. But I don't know. Maybe they got something going. But they talked to the Uber driver.
Do I have a list?
All right, so you want to call him or you want me to call him?
You can call him up.
Okay, so the first person we're going to start with the list is going to be NBC National, Liz Kreitz. Right here.
Can you walk us through that timeline from when you believe, if you look at this here, from 147 to 228, what you think happened there and what particular software would have detected somebody on camera?
Yeah, I don't. I know we know the software that was there. But I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm just not in the weeds. I know that. Think of your doorbell cameras. Somebody walks up. My wife's. If I walk up, she gets an alert, and it's usually something like that. A person's detected.
So to understand then the following, one, does that mean that it was about a 45-minute span that this suspect or suspects would have been on the property? And then also, does this essentially mean that you cooperated with the tech companies and you can officially say that no surveillance video is available from the home?
We know that the tech company that we sent that camera off to, yes, they've said they've run out of ways to recover any video.
Next person's going to be ABC News, Aaron Katersky.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Was what 45 minutes?
Can we say it's about a 45-minute span that somebody would have been on the property then, from 147 to 228?
Yeah, I think those times speak for themselves, and it is about, like I say, those are approximates. So yes.
It wasn't about no noise, no neighbors.
Hi, Sheriff. Thanks very much.
Aaron Katersky, ABC News.
Hi, Sheriff. Thanks very much. Is there information that you are purposefully withholding because of the active investigation that might be leading you in a particular direction?
Criminal investigation that we conduct here. Law enforcement has conducted investigations since 1865 here in Pima County. We're always mindful of what it is that's in front of us and what we should release and can release. There's legal guidelines that guide us. But there's also strategy too. So, I'll leave that for you to determine.
Now that you are having such an injection of manpower from the Pima critical incident team and the FBI, we just slow to bring that in at the outset. Should all of these resources been brought to bear sooner?
I guess that it's Monday morning quarterbacking. I do it all the time, so you have the opportunity to do it for me. I'll take that hit.
CBS News, Jonathan Vigliotti.
Sheriff, over here, has there been any proof of life, and has there been any sign of life?
I'm going to anything to deal with the ransom notes and that, I would defer to the FBI, but no, to my knowledge, we're still looking for Nancy.
And for my follow-up question, if I can speak with the special agent, what was it about this apparent ransom note that now 3 days on, you first haven't been able to validate, and second, it warranted informing the Guthries of its existence?
So the ransom note that was sent out there, obviously every lead in this case we are taking extremely serious.
But not everyone is presented to the family. Why this one?
Because this was the ransom that came in and it had facts associated with a deadline, with a monetary value they were asking for. So at that point...
What were some of those facts, if you can, because there's been a lot of speculation, as you know, if you could set the record straight.
Yeah, the ransom itself, one talked about an Apple Watch, and one talked about a floodlight. We're not going to go into specifics. It's very important that we keep this investigation moving forward, and we don't want to put more facts out there that others then can use to try to profit from this.
CNN, next, Ed Lavandera.
Hey, Agent, I want to follow up with you real quick on that. There have been, as far as we know, I think 3 ransom notes so far. One arrest. Are they all different? Or do you think there's different authors behind all of them? Or
see, that's some Tucson crackhead stuff. When do you see a person is kidnapped and 3 different people send in ransom notes like, I want some money from that, I want some money from that, I want some, and they don't got nothing to do with each other. They just like, we're gonna send in a ransom note and see if we can get some money from this lady. What crime have you seen that in all the shows we watch on this social media? When have we seen that? Within a day. But with less than a week, 3 people sending fake ransom notes? That is crazy.
So the one that went to the media is the one we are currently investigating and working on. The imposter that I talked about, where an arrest was made early this morning, that there will be more information. We believe there's no evidence to connect this to Nancy's case. It was someone that was trying to profit from it, a total imposter.
And somebody said, where's the pool boys, the maid? This is not Savannah. This is her mother. So her mother was catching an Uber from their house to meet with Savannah and them for dinner. And I don't even know if I would feel comfortable as like a celebrity or somebody with that amount of money, probably millions. Like, you can't get a cousin or something, or like maybe they ain't from here, like I don't know, like a trusted driver. Yo, you down the street, you need some money or something, like blah, blah. When I call you, my mother need help. Like, I don't know, a health aid, a CNA or something. I don't know. You calling an Uber for your mama and then she come back late at night, 9:50. Like, none of the family could drop her off or something? Or maybe she caught it up to like Phoenix or something. They're like 2 hours away and then no, it can't be. I don't know. It's just weird. Maybe she didn't think that would happen. Like, oh, nobody know who my mother is. That she's not really a personality. She's not out there. My father, my brothers. I don't know. They slipped up. Somebody caught them slipping maybe, but I still think it's somebody in the family. But it's just weird. Like, the mother was just in this small place and living by herself. That's the weirdest thing.
And Sheriff, you started off the press
84
conference by saying you believe that Nancy is still out there. Do you have reason to believe that she's still out there alive? Or are you fearful of the worst case scenario here, that she won't be found alive?
Well, I'm certainly fearful of that. I think we all are. But it is we operate from a position that until we know she's out there, she's alive, and we're going to continue thinking that way until we find her.
Fox Digital, Mike Reese.
Yeah, sir. Michael Ruiz from Fox Digital. Sheriff, you said you've identified no suspects. Have you ruled out anyone she was with on Saturday night?
You know, we've talked to so many. I'm sure that my investigators have feelings about this one's clear or this one isn't. But no, I wouldn't say anybody's ruled out yet, because what if I rule you out and then later I learn something else? No.
So my follow-up, you mentioned that you don't know where the reporting of a forced entry came from. Do we know how whoever did this got into her house?
That I would not discuss with you anyway.
Fox News, Paul Morrow.
Question for Agent Edwards, if I may. Agent Edwards, will the Bureau be submitting the DNA for investigative genealogical investigation relative to maybe hitting a relative, somebody if you will?
That would mean that they got DNA.
I would say the DNA aspect of this case is being handled by the Pima County Sheriff's Department right now. However, should we get to that point, yes, that would be an option for the FBI to assist.
And a quick follow-up, does the ransom note that you're working establish any communication protocols in it?
No, it does not. And that is what I think is important, that if someone has Nancy and is demanding the ransom, that there is communication with the family. We talked about there has been no proof of life. And there was no other demands within that letter. So they're still waiting for communication.
ABC affiliate, Ashley Holden.
Right here, Ashley Holden. When you say the doorbell camera was disconnected, do you believe that camera was taken?
We do not have it in our possession. We've not located it.
I don't think they have DNA. They have her DNA because her nose is bleeding or something. And they collected that and processed it, and if it turned out to be Nancy's, it did. But they're not going to answer any question whether they run it against the family, and because in their mind, the family member, if they do got it, the person been to the house and cried with the family and looked them in the eye and said, "I don't know." So if you put any heat on them, they might discard her body in the woods somewhere. Like, I don't want to be caught. So they want them to, I don't know who it is. We don't know who it is. It could be anybody. It's so lost. And then they could be zooming in on a person. I doubt if they took her back to the house, right? I don't know. It's this lady. She gonna get found.
I know that we've been hearing a lot about ransom notes. We were also hearing in that video that was put out by the Guthrie siblings, and I don't know if this is a question for the FBI or yourself, but the challenges of seeing an image and knowing that it's real. Could one of you address that? Has the family received correspondence, any images, videos?
So we're not going to go into facts regarding this part of the investigation. I think part of that message was with AI these days, you can make videos that appear to be very real. So we can't just take a video and trust that that is a proof of life these days because of the advancements in AI.
But do they have a video?
And trying to actually get a proof of life that we can verify. But we're not going to go into anything the family may or may not have received.
KOLD, Catherine Patterson.
So in regards to a timeline on that ransom note, is that being an impact in your investigation? Are we nearing that timeline?
Yeah, that's quick. 11:56, family checks on Nancy. 12 minutes later, they called 911. Patrol, oh, maybe to, what's PCSD? Oh, I mean, that's Pima County Sheriff's Department. I thought they were like some type of police thing to check on her or something. Hey, my mother doesn't answer the phone. Can you check on her? Pacemaker app shows disconnected from the phone at 2:28. Damn, that means she probably got out of range of it or something.
I'm sorry, one more time.
So in regards to the timeline in the ransom note, are we nearing that timeline? And is that playing a part in the investigation?
We're not going to go again into specifics of that part of the investigation.
Like nobody else had this, her security thing on the phone? Like only the mom had? Because even my mom have all these rings and cameras and spotlights and floodlights. I'm going to have that to my phone too. So if something happened and somebody, boop, boop, I'm going to call, oh, mom, I just got an alert. Like, you all right? The back door opened by mistake or something? Because it's 1 a.m. and it opened. You good? Like nobody else had any cameras on. That's crazy. That's just crazy to me.
The ransom note, other than what we've put out there, we've been transparent. We're talking about we are working.
Or maybe we think it's crazy because we know her daughter got money, so we think it's weird anything the mom don't got, right?
That ransom demand, but we don't want to go anything further than that could impact any opportunities. So thank you.
Is there any additional physical evidence at the crime scene other than the technology that you guys are using for this timeline? Is there anything else that's helping you guys other than really the technology?
Well,
yeah, that very fast. Not only did they call fast, but the police arrived fast. Maybe they got like a local patrol. This is as fast as hell. 11:56, check on her. She don't answer. What's that, like 2-3 calls? Boom. Call police. Police is there less than 15 minutes later. Hey, damn, that's a good-ass response time, I'll tell you that.
Any opportunities, so thank you.
Is there any additional physical evidence at the crime scene other than the technology that you guys are using for this timeline? Is there anything else that's helping you guys other than really the technology?
Well, I think I said on day one is that it's technology that's going to really help us solve this case. But no, I mean, you know, we did do a process of that scene for biological evidence, so we're still hopeful that maybe something will show up there.
They
as
stepping
well.
all over them.
Arizona Republic, Richard Relas.
Agent Yankee? Yes. We saw on the scene, I believe it was you, taking a tripod into the home of the sister. How involved was the FBI, if at all, in creating the video? Any advice for the family?
I would say we use our expertise and provide consultation and advice anytime a family would ask for our advice in a kidnapping. It's ultimately the family's decision of what they put out and any messages they put out. But we were, obviously, you're all documenting every move we make. We were there last night in talking with the family.
Oh, it's freezing.
But every decision.
Hold on, it's freezing. Let me see what these people in the comments think real quick. Let's see what the live chat was saying. No, not that. Oh, they was live, so you can't even look at the chat.
Is theirs.
Right, that was a tripod and a ring light. And Sheriff Donovan, you said the blood was found on the porch and on the front stoop. Just wanted to verify that.
I say porch, front stoop. It's all in that same general area by the front door.
Front of the house.
Front door, yes.
What,
I
given
can
her
see
medical
it.
condition and the fact that it was her blood, as you say, what would her medical condition do with her recovery if she indeed bled out or was bleeding when she left the house?
Well, again, I've got to be careful for HIPAA, but I would say this. We know she is in need of medication.
This was the comments on it saying, I can see it on the side right here. I have hope they find this lady alive. I have a feeling that someone from the family murdered her. Damn. It would be super awesome if he came out celebrating that they got her back in some miraculous way. Yeah, I think we all would be down for that. They owe me a lot of money. Not interested in having conversation. Thank you for letting us. Oh, never mind. I don't even know what the hell.
Daily medication. And we also know that this is day 4 or 5 and still we don't know that she's getting her medication. That could in itself prove fatal.
And for the,
No, that'll be that question. For KGUN News, we have Craig Smith or Athena.
I'll get that for you. I'll get his name.
Craig?
KGUN, Athena.
Oh, okay.
Have you been in communication with anyone who you believe could be the kidnapper?
They ain't gonna never answer that.
You know, it goes back to what we talked about. Nobody's eliminated, but we just really don't have enough to say, this is our suspect, this is our guy, we know, or our gal.
Let me skip.
Now,
They're
steps
gonna
in
ask
and
the
wants
same.
to assist. If we're just like with you, we're an open book. Absolutely. How can we help? One of the things people don't see, I heard your question about, you know, and we left and then others could walk up. You know, when we process a scene and we're done, we return that scene to the, in this case, the homeowners, the family. And we don't just go march back in there. We call the family again and get permissions to go back to the home. So, yeah, there's, again, Monday morning quarterback, absolutely. I probably could have held off on that. We knew that the FBI, we've worked with them before in a lot of cases, and we felt like they could be of help in this with particularly the forensic analysis we use in a number of things. But we, at the start of this thing, we weren't sure what we had, and as the day progressed, we realized that there could be more to this, and we started.
And Trump said something. The president of the United States say something. Put all eyes on you. Now you really got to turn up the fucking the heat in the kitchen. They both of these FBI agents looking at him back there like, don't say nothing stupid. Don't say nothing stupid, Sheriff.
In that, remember, it was a search and rescue mission the first few hours, and we transitioned that over to a criminal investigation. With that, brought in our partners from the FBI and others.
Have you heard from
Univision, Claudia Ramos. Univision, Claudia
I was actually
Ramos.
going to ask about that. We saw the message yesterday.
Are you next?
They said, "Are you
yeah.
next?"
Okay, I'm sorry.
Univision. Following up on that, we saw the message from the president yesterday. Have you personally received any communication from him or
No, and I wouldn't expect that. He too is a busy man, right? And I would say this: we thank him for him opening up his entire law enforcement team was put out yesterday, and we know, you know, I know my local reporters here know. We've always worked well with all of our partners in law enforcement. Maybe it's something unique to Southern Arizona and the rest of the country doesn't see that, but this isn't new for us. We've done this. Gabby Giffords, I headed up that investigation many years ago, and we worked side by side. Could not have got things done if we weren't with the FBI on that.
And just the other question, this being a border state, have you guys had any communication with Mexican authorities?
I have not.
What? They gonna say the cartel came and got Nancy and drove.
I work closely with the Mexican consulate, as other consulates, being the sheriff. But no,
crazy.
Arizona, Univision, Madrid.
Here.
Hi, Sheriff. My question is, do you know, it's a two-part question, do you know what medication Nancy uses? And have you checked the local pharmacies or pharmacies around the state where they bought, per se, this medication to keep her alive?
Yeah, because she an 84-year-old woman that couldn't go more than, I think they said 50 feet or 50 yards, either one, probably 50 feet without being assisted. No way you're living alone. Mom, you're going to assisted facility, or okay, here's cousin Tom and Tim, they'll take you in. I bought them a house and make sure and pay their rent and stuff. They ain't got to worry about nothing. Just his wife gonna stay home, take care of you, mom, or whatever. Or come live with us. Me and my husband got more than enough room. Something. She got a pacemaker. She got all these issues, and she just living it alone, catching Uber. Or maybe she was stubborn like that. Maybe she like, no, I'm not doing it. And ain't nobody wiping my ass. I'd rather die than get that old where I got to go into a home. But it can't be that expensive to. You could have a living assistant for your mom in that nice neighborhood. One person living, say, hey, from this time, you with her, and every week, somebody else gonna come in and relieve you. You can go out and do your stuff, but like, there's somebody out there that's willing to do that job.
To keep her healthy while still look for her.
So we do know what medications, and we have contacted pharmacies. Probably need to go back to just make sure that they didn't. Maybe we contacted them early on. I know that night, Saturday night, Sunday morning. I know we were doing all the hospital checks, and that check was continuous every hour, going back out. And physically in person, deputies were going to each local area hospital and asking them to check their logs.
My second question here is, I know you're looking for her in Pima County. Are you looking for her across the state now?
Everywhere.
So if there's a particular area that you're focused on.
They're looking for that lady everywhere.
Well, we're looking for her everywhere, right? The FBI just made an arrest on a tip that we got that we thought there could be something here. It's statewide. The billboards are going to be out there across the country. We take leads from everywhere, and where those leads take.
He's there in Tucson. Aaron, still a lot to discover, but now a $50,000 reward being offered, and the news that they do believe Savannah Guthrie's mom is still there, out there.
She got to put some more money on top of that. Mom, $100,000. She probably got a handbag. We can't be blaming all this on Savannah either. Like, oh, you got all this money, put $2 million on your mom. Like, you can't just do that. I'm sure she's taking whatever they doing, right? They asked for $100,000 for your mom, and you put out $50,000 for a ransom, and now you go to $2 million. They're gonna be like, oh, we need $5 million for her. You put out $2 million for a ransom. So I get it. There's a balance.
The sheriff said it as much, Kira. We believe Nancy is still out there. We just want her home. And the FBI is now offering a $50,000 reward for information that leads either to her safe return or to the arrest and conviction of a suspect who may be involved in her disappearance. And we also learned the most definitive timeline yet, Kira, that suggests if, in fact, Nancy Guthrie was abducted, that it happened early in the morning on Sunday during a 45-minute window when a security camera seemed to sense, there's no pictures, but there was a sense that somebody was in the house. This was at about 1:47 in the morning. A doorbell camera is disconnected. Software a few minutes later detects a person going inside. There's no video, and then her pacemaker is disconnected from her phone a short time later. These are critical details that the authorities are now confirming.
That should send off an alert itself. Your pacemaker disconnected for a while, it should be like, beep, beep, like, I don't know, authorities should be called. Like, this person dead? It disconnected? Like, is it flatlining? Because this is not normal. Like, I don't know.
Along with blood
life alert
that
type
was
stuff.
found at the scene that comes back to Nancy Guthrie, Kira.
Aaron, thank you. Also, we have our contributor and former FBI agent, Brad Garrett. Brad, the question was asked if law enforcement still believe that she is alive. And you heard the sheriff there. We operate from a position that until we know otherwise, she's alive. Your thoughts?
Well, I think it's perfectly appropriate, Kara, to be optimistic. I think he's it's wishful thinking, probably. Again, I don't know what he knows, but if they don't have a suspect and they don't really know the particulars, other than some really disturbing things at the scene, in particular, the blood at the front door, and the question about the movement of a guy in a house, it's all difficult to figure out.
Brad, thank you. And of course, anyone with information.
The only way it makes sense if you look at it, somebody she knew. Like, it don't make sense any
It's
other
all the
way.
time. We'd love it to have all the cameras in what we would consider a more urban nature type area. But once you get out into the community, that's not the only part of Tucson that is that way. And we just find ways to overcome those challenges.
Yeah, see, Tucson, and she might have this small little knit community, this little colder sack within the community, but the outside is like an urban area. Like, it's weird the way they be having this structure.
We don't just disregard it. We still look at ways to find for example, Ring cameras that might catch just a piece of something. It goes by. It
Car
doesn't catch the
color,
whole.
make,
There was
model.
a part in there about Bitcoin. Are you looking for that?
Yes, that's part of the investigation.
Can you go and elaborate any?
Man, it's live. Freezing.
Guys, or any suspects tied to that Bitcoin?
There is not at this time.
And it's not, and they wouldn't tell us if it was. So I know her brother made a something.
Doorbell camera disconnects. At 2:12 a.m.
Let me see. Let me close these. Her brother. So we watched the video what she put out. I just be opening stuff just to look at her.
At this point, it's clear that every effort is being made from family and law enforcement to get Nancy home. But there were 4 things that stuck out to the former agent who spoke to me after he watched Savannah's message. Those 4 things are: 1, humanizing the victim, which is Nancy. Savannah made comments about her mom and who she is as a person. Number 2, the former agent says he doesn't think this is a direct plea to kidnappers, which you'll hear him explain in just a moment. Number 3, family wants proof
Hello, guys in the chat.
of life. They want to know she's alive. And 4, he thinks there has been a lack of communication between a potential kidnapper, law enforcement, and family. So this is family making that step. Here's
so he think that they went out and said something without the FBI permission? I don't think so. No way, because Savannah, she's handled so many different cases, and this is a lady that's on the news handling cold cases with Nancy Grace and stuff like that, and talking about way more heinous crime, which is crazy to think, but way more heinous stuff and gory stuff than this. I don't think she went rogue, like Nancy Grace said, and just put out her own statement with her family and her brothers. They would have to be completely like, I don't know, Dumb and Dumber in it for her to be like, yo, y'all, I don't know what y'all doing, but we got to put something out. And I seen somebody in the comments say, of course they broke in. I think they mean if it was a family member, then they could have got in, because he just said there was no forced entry. So did they have a key? Did she leave the door open? Did they know the garage code and it lifts up? Was she like, it could be so many different things. But the sheriff didn't confirm a forced entry. But Nancy Grace, who's probably closer to the inside of the family, said there was.
Here's more of a breakdown from that agent tonight.
They're humanizing everyone here to make, if there are kidnappers out there, to make those kidnappers feel like maybe they should care. We've all acknowledged there's a ransom note. It appears to me that the investigators aren't 100% convinced it's legitimate. At one point, Savannah's sister mentions, "Mama, we need you to come home." So she's talking directly to the victim as if she has control of coming home herself. That was interesting to me. It seemed to leave the door open a little bit for this not to be a kidnapping.
That former agent asked,
what would it be? Is there issues in the family that she would leave her watch, her phone, and just leave? What the hell is this agent? What? Say something else then. What could it be?
added that he feels there is not an open line of communication right now. Yes, there was a possible ransom note, but he says he thinks this video from Savannah and her siblings is a plea to open up those lines of communication.
No, I didn't get that from that. I didn't get that at all. The whole situation seemed fishy from the beginning. Nothing appears to add up. Please, Jesus, bring Nancy home. I don't know why. Jesus, bring Nancy home safe. Something more is going on with the family that they are putting out to the public. Yep, then they are putting out to the public. You think? I wonder why. Maybe it's because as the family, they feel like the world's attacking them 24/7. Like I said, I looked at them and I was like maybe we just so jaded from seeing crime and horrible stuff and children killed in Gaza and all this stuff. We like, oh, well, there's an old lady kidnapped and her family don't look like they her brother was like, and her sister was straight faced. So I don't know what else would the fuck would it be. It's not a teenager. It's an 84-year-old lady that couldn't walk. What's she gonna do if it's not a kidnapping? He just left that open ended. What? I don't see anything wrong with reading from the paper. Savannah probably is very worried. Maybe has a lot of feelings going on. She probably hasn't slept. Maybe she needed the paper to keep on track. Yeah, and then if the FBI wanted her to say certain words, key phrases, "Mom, come home, we listen. If you're listening." Whoa, I guess there's a conspiracy under every rock. So far, 14 former FBI agents have nothing but worthless opinion. How much has the old girl got in the bank, and which of her kids is broke? That is a great question. I don't know if it's strictly money related, but they definitely know more than they're leading on. Yeah, most of the time it's a brother, but I'm trying not to. Did y'all see that brother?
Sheriff, let's take a listen right now to this video that
Let's look at it. I haven't watched it yet.
Put out. This is the brother of Savannah Guthrie, the son of Nancy Guthrie. Watch.
This is Cameron Guthrie. I'm speaking for the Guthrie family. Whoever is out there holding our mother, we want to hear from you. We haven't heard anything directly. We need you to reach out, and we need a way to communicate with you so we can move forward. But first, we have to know that you have our mom. We want to talk to you, and we are waiting for contact.
Sheriff, this...
Damn, it's so hard not to judge them, ain't it? Like, how would either of us look in that position? Like, mom is missing. We want to, I don't know. I feel like I'd be off the cuff, like, or rehearse so much that I don't need to look down at the paper 45 times. Or maybe he's just an introvert and nervous. Like, whoever has our mom, we need to talk to you. Paper to say like 4 sentences. I'm trying not to be suspicious, but it's very hard. Even look at him here, like these two holding hands, the sisters, but he's just sitting there like.
This is something Cameron is saying that Savannah said last night. You know, we need to know you have our mother, and we need to know she's alive. And Savannah took great care to know.
Is that the son-in-law? Because it says Nancy Guthrie's son. Is that the son-in-law? No, it says his mother's, unless they're just using that. Because if that's his son, that's the son-in-law. That's completely different. It's even weirder. But I don't see the son-in-law murder. I think that's a son. It says son.
In today's AI world, it can be difficult to ascertain that. Nancy Guthrie was on the Today Show many times. We know that there is technology. You could get her voice from those appearances on television and make a completely fake audio tape of Nancy talking.
I understand that, and that's why, again, we refer this to the FBI. They have a team trained in handling and dealing with these matters. They are working with the Guthries as a consult, but like Special Agent Yankee said, the decision, any decision made on this will be from the family. We'll support whatever decision that is.
Support whatever it is. Are you still getting tips, and how hopeful are you that by increasing the reward to $50,000 that this will tempt somebody to pick up the phone and call in some information that you can really act on?
You know, first part of that, yes, we'll continue to get tips. No tip is too small. I cannot stress that. Don't dismiss. Hey, I think one of the fears I had about this timeline, we released the timeline, and now somebody might go, well, you know, that it didn't start till 9 o'clock, 9:30, and I saw somebody there around 8:30, so I'm not going to bother. Don't do that. Call us. You're not a
Yeah, because whoever that person was, they had to be watching her.
bother. Let us be the ones to research that information and let us dismiss it. But as to I'm sorry, I've lost my train of thought here.
That's okay. You must be exhausted.
What was the other part of your question?
No, it's fine. It was just about the $50,000 reward and how many tips you're getting. But I do want to, just to follow up on something you just said, Sheriff, no tip is too small.
Damn, that's a lot of blood right there. Did she get to the door and then just start leaking? That's a weird pattern. I guess she just got out like, oh, or did she like, no, and they just like popped on the nose right there? That like the initial gush right there. And then there's the little droplets. But it's not enough to kill.
There were reports of a trespasser from neighbors in the past month or so.
It's double. She got the hood door, like the house, like. Wow. Did somebody disconnect the camera and ring the doorbell? Now that I'm seeing the door, you make a lot of noise popping this door open. Then she got another door. Unless she was just so unsuspecting and that she just went through, that she just left the doors unlocked. But she went through the garage. I know some people that never go through their front door really in Tucson because they always open in the garage for the car and stuff and never use their front door. Damn, that'd be crazy if somebody was at her house and left the front door open and unlocked for themselves because they know she goes through the garage and she don't really check it. Why would she? Like 84 years old, she ain't, but I ain't going to that door, child. I don't know. So many damn options.
I mean, yeah, a neighbor might think that was a month ago. But yeah, this is actually important information because whoever did this canvassed that home, knew what they had to do in order to get in and get her.
I won't speak to that, but I will say, yes, we're aware of, I mean, that's pretty routine. We run a geofencing of the area and run all case reports, not just a month back. It could be.
It's not really weird that Savannah is the one talking because she's the celebrity. She's the Today Show host. She's the main person. She's the reason why this has enough attention because it's her mom to get President Trump to say, oh, all law enforcement, go over there. Like, and then law enforcement need a win because everything with ICE and stuff. So he needs a win from them. So he probably said, go do this shit. So, I mean, it's not weird that it would be weird if the other people were talking and she didn't say nothing. We'd be like, what the hell, Savannah? You ain't got nothing to say?
Be 6 months back, but that neighborhood, as you can see, it's a pretty spread out community there. They're on acreage lots. They're set back off the road pretty well, some pretty heavy vegetation. So it's hard, particularly.
Look at that. That's crazy. Look how rural that is, I guess. Like, the houses are close, but there's so much stuff in between that is not. So many people came through the border. Yo, if it turned out to be a legal immigrant, came from the border, took Savannah Guthrie's mama, and then took her back over or asked for some ransom money, like, I don't fall into conspiracy theory. And then the President Trump is the one who said, no, we need everything over here. We need to go this way and all law enforcement. That sounds like a beginning to a great conspiracy theory. Like, all this stuff has happened with Epstein and ICE, and then he needs a win, and then all of a sudden this famous talk show host is her mother's taken, and then Trump's like, oh, all law enforcement directed over there, and then they find her and is an illegal immigrant, and Trump's like, look, told you, look, they see why we going so hard, because look what happened. That'd be crazy. I'm just saying that ain't on my bingo card.
Ring cameras and that, to be able to see those walking out on the street. It's a beautiful neighborhood. It's virtually crime-free for the most part. But sometimes something like this happens. Yeah. And
you said your neighbor had life alert. She fell. This lady had a pacemaker app connected to everything, but not like a life alert or something. She went too far, or I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, I used to live in Arizona. I worked there for many years. I also know how dark neighborhoods like this get at night. So you not only have houses set back so the Ring cameras are too far to see anything on the street, but it's
scary as hell to me. Look at this area. Like, can you imagine at nighttime you out here in the pool surrounded by, like, you don't even know what's on the other side of the wall. Like, I'll be afraid that the people that's up to the north of them, like, came down, or they got some kids, you got daughters or something there, the sons could come down and just look over this wall or something. Like, I'll have, like, hunter traps out here in the wilderness all around. If you got, like this is for people who want to be real away, like in the city and near it, but they want to feel like they out in the wilderness when they come home. These people want privacy. Their fences ain't big enough. Maybe just look that way because of the aerial view. But I like all out here with the trees and the birds. Build me a cabana over my shit or something. I can't. I couldn't even enjoy the pool. I'd be like,
the Ring cameras are too far to see anything on the street, but it's quite dark.
Her pacemaker was connected to her phone, so maybe not Wi-Fi, but maybe Bluetooth. So eventually she got it probably giving her heartbeat and stuff and all that. Just like like diabetics, they got the monitor they keep on all day and it sends it to their phone. It's not Wi-Fi. It's more Bluetooth activated. It just got to be nearby her. But that was disconnected from the app, and her phone was left at home, and her iWatch, I guess, was left at home.
Nightfall. Sheriff Chris Nanos, I really appreciate you joining us to update the investigation. I wish you nothing but luck and success. We really are.
Yeah, so it's weird the son did. And yes, so there's parts in Tucson where they purposely say no lights. Like the purpose people live there is so they can see the stars and the beautiful, ain't nothing like an Arizona sunset and you see the stars at night. So they don't want that light pollution. You know what I mean? They don't want that light pollution. It ain't a place for kids to be hanging out at night, like the inner city in New York or something. They walking down. It's like, what are you doing out here? Like you're starting a barn fire. You're doing something up to no good if you're a kid walking around there. That's why for some kids it's just boring. They just get into mischiefs and do crazy stuff and drugs and have parties because it's literally like a senior town. Tucson changing. It's getting more of the younger population, but it's known as like a senior town or people with money. You know, you got LeBron's son at the U of A. There's a lot of people there. There's a lot of well-to-do. You got Raytheon missile building company. Like there's a lot of people there that work for the U of A, work for Raytheon military contracting. They got the Davis Matheson Air Force Base down there. It's well off to do people where she's at. Let's just put it like that. And they're concerned about too many lights on a block because they can't look at the beautiful sunset or the beautiful asteroids going. Like, it's crazy. You can stand outside in Tucson some days and it feel like you're in like a globe. Like you look up at the sky and it feel like you're surrounded, like that there's like no houses or nothing. You're just surrounded by stars. Like it is crazy beautiful. But some places they need a lot more lights because it's getting too populated. Let me see something. Let me see what the comments saying. Yeah, many mansions. Yeah, it's a college town. It's the weird mixture between you got the side where it's a college town, you got downtown, where it's like vibes and popping. Like for Tucson, it's popping. But then you got historic downtown where it's like it's purposely kept looking the same. Like you can't be a new business to come and change everything. No, it needs to look a certain way. They don't change the aesthetics of it. A lot of Westerns get filmed here and things like that. Let me see. I hope they find us safe and soon. This is just awful. I don't know. I agree. This is strange. It all strange. It is all strange. So that's her brother. Okay, so that is her brother. Where is her son-in-law, though? Let's see what this guy. I don't even know what this is. Let me see. Number one suspect.
I just dug up some wild information on the number one suspect of the...
It is his brother-in-law. They shouldn't do that. Thank you, Gio. Let me see. How you say that name? Giorgio? Can I just say Gio? That's her brother-in-law, so she was right. Prime suspect.
Kidnapping and assault of Nancy Guthrie, the mother of popular Today Show host Savannah Guthrie. I assume most of you are up to date, but a really quick recap if you're not. Savannah Guthrie, very popular Today Show host. Her mother, 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie, was kidnapped from her home recently, and she has not been found. It's been 4 days now. Ashley Banfield, a popular former host of News Nation and now has her own show and podcast, came forward and said she has sources in high levels of government, which, side note, that's not surprising considering she is recently named in the Epstein files, trying desperately to find out if Jeffrey Epstein is single and ready to mingle, but that's another story for another show. Anyways, according to her sources, Nancy Guthrie had her house broken into, forced entry, and then someone carried her down the steps. Now, this is very interesting. Again, that's not the main topic of the video, but it is very interesting that she would say that because this is a one-story home and there are staircases in this home. So somehow, according to
that was
Ashley,
weird.
She was carried down a flight of steps, but not really.
Why would she say that? That was just a case of trying to be first and not correct?
But what did happen is that she was assaulted in some way, Nancy Guthrie, and carried and forced out of her home because there is a...
We don't know if she was carried. The fact that there was blood, like Nancy Grace was saying, showed that she was upright. She carried, she back like this, is bleeding all over herself, and those were like drop, 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 drop. So it was bloop, bloop, bloop. So I think that shows that she's just wrong.
Blood trail leading all the way past the doorway and into the front tiles of the yard of her home. And then it kind of stops right where you get to the section of pebbles and rubble and gravel. There was at least one, possibly two Ring doorbell cameras installed, and they were smashed and even ripped off of the house.
He clickbaiting. Somebody gonna watch this and think that he got fucking exclusive footage. Thank God we're smarter than that.
House and confiscated. Now it has been at least 4 days, maybe more, since she was kidnapped. And listen, Nancy Guthrie has lots of health issues. She requires a lot of medication that she has to take daily. She needs a lot of care. And I guarantee you, whoever went in there and grabbed her and assaulted her and made her bleed and marched her out of there and kidnapped her, quite literally, they didn't take the time. Okay, ma'am, is there any medication that we need to go and get out of the cabinets for?
You don't know that. Especially if the person knew her. Or if she was leaving and said, "Oh, what are you doing? We're taking you. Don't do nothing. Don't move. You won't get hurt. We just want you. We will return. We just need some money from your daughter, and we'll return you. Don't worry. If you don't do nothing, we're not gonna hurt you." Okay. All right. Look, I just need my heart medication, please. Look, I'm sick. I'm gonna die tomorrow. I gotta take it daily for my heart. Okay, damn. Unless we want this old lady to die before we get any money, go get that damn medication. What's she talking about? I had a heart attack. I got a pacemaker. I need this. Why wouldn't you go back?
for you. They didn't care. And so she doesn't have that now. But the newest development, according to Ash.
The way that blood is, I think like Nancy Grace said, it was from, they probably could know where it's from, like if it's more vascular blood, like they could tell which part of the body the blood came from sometimes. It's crazy. But if it comes down the arm, you don't get that initial just splat and then drops, right? It'd be like drip, drip. It ain't gonna just like, at least I don't imagine it doing that. Like, I don't imagine it coming from an arm or like slowly coming down anything. Like, I don't know. I see from the arm, those little droplets, like those little perfect little droplets, like boop, boop. You seen somebody with a nosebleeds. Like, that's exactly how it looked.
Ashley Banfield, who has a source in law enforcement who's investigating this case. They're not going on the record and officially saying this, but all sources confirm the number one suspect right now is the brother-in-law of the Today Show host, Savannah Guthrie.
Well, of course, he's like the oldest man. Yes, they didn't take, I don't know if they took the meds or not, but the sheriff, when we were watching, they asked him, have you checked any Walgreens or anything? She could have had other prescriptions. All right, we'll get your medicine. Pick up the prescription over here. She could have had extra. I mean, sometimes you got so many pills or something that like you forget to take one or you're supposed to take whatever. Or she stack up on month supply and they took one. They didn't even live with this lady. How they know she ain't have fucking 3 months of supply of it or have like one of those little pill things where they already had like a week worth of pills in it or 2 weeks worth of pills in it already. And they like left the bottle, but she already had like the little things that you flip open every day. Who knows?
And the son-in-law of Nancy Guthrie, the missing mother. Boy, let me tell you, I did a quick search and used a couple tactics to dig a few things up about him. And what I found, it's a little concerning. Let me show you. And reportedly the last person to see Nancy Guthrie alive is her son-in-law, Tommaso Cioni. This is because he was the person who dropped her off at her home and therefore the last to see her. And then just a little
this
while
motherfucker,
later,
what? I'm not listening to him. What? Am I right? She got an Uber driver. Oh, any drugstores that were broken into. But he didn't drop her off, right? Am I missing something, guys? It was the Uber driver.
this kidnapping happened. Obviously, I can't say that means he's the guy, he's the one who did it, blah, blah, blah. But I did look into him a good bit, and I found some things that no one else reporting about this because everyone's talking about how he's the #1 suspect. But no one seems to have looked into him and his background at all, and so I did, and, well, I'm not going to frame it in any way for you. Let me just share what I found, and you make your decision about the guy. By the way,
son-in-law drove her home. The Uber took her to the daughter. Yo, I'm gonna have to go back now. I swore they said that the Uber driver took her to and from the dinner. The Uber driver was the last one to see her when she closed the garage. Am I tripping? I'm gonna go back.
A quick update as we speak, as this video is getting made at 6:58 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Police are crawling all over the house, resetting up crime scene tape, and they actually just had officers who are members of the ICAC unit leave this man's house.